Hello, we're going to continue with Module 3. We're going to talk about sequences and dictionaries in Python. So sequences in Python is a way to store several different objects in one single variable. In this video, we're going to talk about lists and tuples. So lists, or both lists and tuples, are good in the way that the order in which you input the items will be the same as when you access them. And they're indexed numerically. In Python, it starts at 0. First, we can look at how to create a list. Here we have created a list called L, and you create it by using square brackets. The first object in the list is Michael Jackson, which is a string, 10.1, which is a float number, and 1982, which is an integer. And let's run the code. And as you can see, it prints out Michael Jackson, 10.1, and 1982, which are the three objects of the list L. You can also check the length and the type of the sequence you've made. So in this case, we want to check the length and the type of the list L. So we just print len, and then inside the parentheses, you have the name of the list, which is L, and then type, and inside also the name of the list. Let's run the code. And here you can see the len function prints out that it has three objects, and it says that it's a list, which it is, so that's good. And further, if you want to reach an element of the list, you can use the indexes. So in this case, we're going to try to print out different elements. So here we want to print index 0 and index -2, and when you use -2 you go from the back of the list. So here it's print and then parentheses and then the name of the list, square brackets, index 0 and then comma, and then the next thing you want to print out, and then it's the name of the list again, square brackets, index -2. So let's run the code, and it prints out Michael Jackson and 10.1, and that's exactly what we wanted. So another thing you can do with lists is extend it. So that's if you want to add more objects to the list after you have created it. So here we have created a list called M, and it has two objects. It has the string Michael Jackson and the float number 10.2. But we want to extend it with the string pop and the number 10. So to do that, you just type the name of the list and dot extend, which is the function to extend it, and then normal parentheses, square brackets, and then the two objects you want to extend it by inside the square brackets. So let's run the code. And as you can see, it's printed out Michael Jackson 10.2, and now it has added pop and the number 10. And now let's go over to tuples. So tuples are similar to lists in a way, but they're immutable, which means that they cannot be changed after they've been created. And to create a tuple, you don't use square brackets, you use normal parentheses. So here we have created a tuple called tuple1. And inside of it, it's disco, a string, and then the second object is 10, an integer, and the third one is 1.2, a float number. And to print it out, you just type the name of the tuple. So let's run the code. And here it prints out all the objects of the tuple. And the same way as you did with lists, you can also check the length and the type. So here you do exactly the same. Use the len function and the type function. And inside the parentheses, you have the name of the tuple, which in our case is tuple1. You run the code. And then it's, as you see, it prints out 3, which is the number of objects inside the tuple, and the type of sequence you've created, which is a tuple. Another neat thing that you can do is sort values, or so if you create a tuple with a bunch of different numbers, here we have created a tuple called ratings, and it has different numbers, and you can see that it's completely random. Let's run the code and print out. And here you can see all the different type of numbers printed out. And if you want to sort it, you can, in this case, we've created a new tuple called ratings sorted, and you just use the sorted function. So you set the rating sorted as equal to sorted, and then parentheses, and the tuple you want to sort inside the parentheses. So that's ratings, the one we made before. So let's run the code. And here comes out the full tuple sorted, and it also has the duplicate values. So let's say we want to reach an index now. So 0, 1, 2, 3, we want to each index 3, and that has value 6. So we're going to print the rating sorted at index 3. Run, and now it is 6 from the new sorted tuple. And at last, we're going to talk about dictionaries. Dictionaries in Python is similar to lists, but it's indexed with keys, and it's not indexed numerically like lists and tuples. So when you create dictionaries, the elements are made up of key value pairs. So in my dictionary, I've called it dictionary 1, and I've made the keys to be names and the numbers to be just random birth dates, or the birth dates to the names that I've created, but it can be anything. The keys can be names, numbers, and the values can also be strings, integer, floats, but it cannot be Boolean values, which is true-false statements. So let's print out the dictionary 1. Here I've created it, and as you can see, I've used curly brackets. You always have to use curly brackets when you create a dictionary. That's how you tell Python that you have created a dictionary and not a list or a tuple. So let's run the code. And here you can see all the different names have come out, and their birth dates that are together with the names. So it's very organized and you can see it easily. So, and if you want to check the length and type of a dictionary, you do it the same way as you do with lists and tuples. Len, and then the name of the dictionary inside, type, and then name of the dictionary inside the parentheses. Let's run this code. And here you can see there are 6 key value pairs, and the type of it is dict, which is dictionary. So that's exactly what we wanted. So now let's see if we can access a value in the dictionary by using the key that we have created. So let's say we want to find the birth date of Martha. So we type the name of the dictionary, and inside the square brackets we type the key Martha. Let's run the code. And now you can see her birth date is 1982. But what if her birth date was wrong? What if it was actually 1984? So here we can see that it's easy to actually change the value of the key, which is very neat. So you just type the name of the dictionary again, square brackets, and type in the key you want to change, and then you put 1984. And then again, we're printing out the value of Martha. So let's see if it changed. And here we can see in the output that her birth date changed to 1984. You can also delete values or delete the whole key value pair in dictionaries, and you delete it by using the del function. So you type del parentheses, the name of the dictionary, and then square brackets, the name of the key you want to delete. And then afterwards we print out the dictionary to see if it's been deleted. So here you can see that the dictionary has been printed out. Martha, Eric, Nils, Karen, Helga, but the key Peter has been deleted. So let's just double check and see if the length of the dictionary is now 1 less. Let's run that code. 5, and before it was 6, so now we know it's correct. That was all for today. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.